Why is a big word. Why is a big word. And there are a lot of books about why, and it's about, well, what's my purpose and why am I here? I mean, literally why. Why are you guys doing this? Think about how much time and effort you put into getting into this room and playing for this team. Why are you doing this? The more you're focused on results, the less chance it's going to happen, right? John Wooden never mentioned the word win. So people say, well, you know, winning wasn't important to him. He was like, no. You don't win 10 national championships if winning isn't important. Winning was super important, but he knew if he could get his players to focus on the process, those results would be more likely. I'm guessing you probably don't do this all that often. You don't do this often enough. You may never do this. You may rarely do this. And you know what? Your resistance to doing this got you in this room because it's never enough for you. You're always striving, you're always growing, you're always competing, you always want to get better. And I love that about you. It got you in this room. But all of us need to do this more. I'm asking you to do this more because that's what it means to lock in. You can strive and you can grind, but if you are not being kind to yourself, you're not going to be locked in, especially in those moments, in those game moments, when you really need it the most. When people tell you, again, with love and good intention, don't be worried, don't be anxious, don't be fearful, what they're telling you is to turn off DNA baked deep into your cells, deep into your body, that is millions of years in the making, okay? So we can let in anxiety, worry, and fear into our lives and build a different relationship and channel them properly and redirect our thoughts, and that's how we lock in. Basketball player Andre Iguodala, I'm sure you guys know who he is. Great player at Arizona, great NBA career. For much of his NBA career, he struggled with sleep. He was an insomniac. And I think the process of writing this book, he kind of stitched together, well, when did my sleeping problems start? You know when they started? When he was a freshman at Arizona, the first time he saw his name on a mock draft projected as an NBA first round pick. And that night, he couldn't sleep. This is his dream. Oh my God, this is what I want. Couldn't sleep. Expectations, comparison, fear, all of these things. What if I don't make it? What will people think? Talk about happiness. What I really mean that happiness is something similar but different and more important, and that's peace of mind. Corey John Wooden's definition of success. Success is peace of mind that comes with the self-satisfaction of knowing that you did your best to become the best that you're capable of becoming. So people think about the success part as reaching your potential, and that's a big part of it. I focused on those first three words. Peace of mind. Everybody on the planet knows the ball's going to Michael Jordan. And so he's probably going to get double teamed. And he's thinking in his mind, who's going to double team me? Probably John Stockton. What does that mean? Steve Kerr's open. So he says in the huddle, you can look at this on YouTube, kind of put his hand over his face. He said, Kerr, if they come off you, be ready. If he comes off you, be ready. And Steve Kerr said, okay, if he comes off me, I'll be ready. And in that moment, Steve Kerr had one thought in his mind. And that thought was, it. That's literally what popped into his head because he had worked so hard on this. This is a shot to win the NBA championship. But he knows if he's thinking about the magnitude of the shot, how amazing it would be if it went in, how horrible it would be if it didn't go in. If he was focused on the result, how do you even touch the ball, much less shoot it, much less make it? And so he had put in all the time and all this work with all those contemplative practices to prepare himself for that moment, to be able to have that thought. Turned out well, Stockton came over, Michael pitched it to him, switch. Okay, so he got the result that he wanted by caring a little bit less about the result. It is not easy. It is not easy, and it takes work, and I'm here to encourage you to do that work. Inside each one of you, inside all of us, is a tiny little light source. You are the only ones who have access to that light. You can't give it to anybody. Your husband, your wife, your mom, your dad, your kids, your best friend, your teammates, nobody can touch it. And it's available to you whenever you need it, no matter what's going on. So if I'm standing here telling you that only you have access to that light, and the most important people in your life can't even get to that light, why would you give it to some on social media? Why would you give it to anybody? I want you guys to feel fulfilled. I want you to have peace of mind. I want you to have all the happiness that you deserve. Thank you for the honor of being here. Namaste.